Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Quite a show lined up for you. 888-933-93. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Just a plethora of tweets that have come in since last we spoke. From Shelley Bagley. In our deep philosophical discussion today, my husband and son were discussing the word irregardless. Oh. If the word irresponsible means not responsible, wouldn't irregardless mean not regardless?
That's a thinking man's tweet right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see what you did there. That's interesting.
Yeah. From Brent, I was thinking that maybe the way to save George Washington is to reach out to Cardinal Joe Tobin and ask him to grant sainthood to the founding fathers. Then, as religious figures, they're protected from being removed.
Are they?
Although that's not necessarily true, as many people have said, hey, the statues of Jesus are white. We need to pull those down. They set a Virgin Mary statue on fire.
No.
Yesterday.
Oh.
I'm not sure the religious statues are. I'll have to look again. Let's see. Also from Crapton Plains. Hey, is it possible to get a few extra Radio Hall of Fame voter ballots for my cats and stuff? Well, that depends. Are they dead?
Yeah.
Because if they're dead, then yes.
Mm-hmm.
Really want to make sure Glenn wins.
Yeah.
Public voting starts on this coming Monday.
Yeah, so we posted at Pat Unleashed on Twitter the Radio Hall of Fame voting stuff.
I really want him to get into.
So I guess for the first week, it's just radio industry
people. Mm-hmm.
How do you? I haven't really explored it. Shame on me. But how do you prove that you're in the radio industry when you go to vote? That means that neither of us have voted yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll get on that, Glenn. Mm-hmm. We will. All right, so public voting, we'll remind you on Monday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll figure it all out. And one way or another, I mean, he's got to get in this year. Well, you're going to put John and Ken instead of Glenn in there? No. I mean, John and Ken are good. Don't get me wrong. Everybody loves NPR because that's another one of the candidates. Actually, the NPR show, it's called Wait, something or other.
Wait, something or other?
Yeah.
That's not that catchy.
No, it's not.
NPR Wait podcast.
Yeah, but there's a line after it.
Really?
Yeah.
It says wait.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Maybe
wait, don't tell me.
Thank you.
Oh, I just did.
That's what it is.
Sorry.
Speaking of halls of fame, while we were talking about Glenn yesterday, I was thinking, I wonder if the nominations are out for 2021 for the Rock Hall of Fame.
Uh-oh.
And they're not yet.
Okay.
But I did find a site that is speculating on some of the stiffed bands, some of the bands that have been neglected over the years.
The Connells.
Yeah, exactly.
The Connells, yeah.
Connells, yeah. That's one. That's right at the top of the list.
It's really sad. They don't get their due.
So I've got a list here of many bands that have been neglected over the years, ignored, and should maybe be in. I don't know. You decide. Probably won't go through all of them, but some of them, like The Association. Cherish is the word I use to describe all the feelings that I have here for you inside. Also, Never My Love. Pretty good. Long Comes Mary. Mm-hmm. All good songs. Yeah. Bad Company's not in the Rock Hall of Fame. Their lead singer, Paul Rodgers, who was also the lead singer for Free with All Right Now, one of the greatest rock vocalists of all time. Badfinger, Blue Oyster Cult, Boston. Right? I don't know that they belong, frankly.
Whoa. See, I was just about to say, I'm surprised you're not out there pitching for them as well.
My feelings have changed a little bit on Boston because they have what? They had 3 solid albums. Well, they had one brilliant album, the first one. The next one sounded too much like the first, probably, and it was all party songs.
It's because classic rock does all sound like the previous.
To some, sure. And then Third Stage in, 85 or 86, whenever that came out. 86, I think. Was good. And then after that, it was all, we hate corporations, we don't like capitalism, Oh, by the way, our lead singer Bradley Delp went somewhere else for this album, and now I got somebody you don't even recognize. Doesn't sound like Boston. So I don't know.
But you're making a decision about Boston based on, I don't know, real. That's not their standard, man.
No, that's true.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
the Rock Hall, who's in there that is not even rock and roll?
Many,
so based on
Janet Jackson,
right? Based
for
on some of
instance.
the crap that has been inducted there,
They definitely belong.
but
Yes.
based on the
Yes.
logical,
More deserving than many that are in.
sure. Based on logic, probably not.
Like, look at this. Glenn Campbell. I know, I'm sure he was, country people love him. Mm-hmm. He's not a rock artist.
And that's, yeah, exactly.
Canned Heat. The Carpenters. Harry Chapin. Ick. Chubby Checker. Cher. Get out of here. Judy Collins. Stop it. Jim Croce. The Damned. I've never even heard of them. Delaney and Bonnie. I mean, they had like, Don't Pull Your Love Out on Me. No, that was Hamilton, Joe Franken Reynolds.
Okay.
Delaney and Bonnie was, I looked that up really quick. That's going to bug me now. Delaney and Bonnie. So, I mean, everybody was a part of that band at one time or another.
Never Ending Love Song.
Yeah. There was something else, too.
Really?
Yeah, from them.
Only You and I Know.
Yes, Only You Know and I Know.
Yeah, okay. I don't know that one.
Emerson, Lake and Palmer is in this. Foreigner is mentioned. I don't know that that's ever going to happen for him, but they write, few mainstream arena rock bands were bigger in the late 70s and 80s than Foreigner. Mm-hmm. And anthems like Hot Blooded, Cold as Ice are emblematic of that era's radio-friendly mindset. Yep. Yeah, sure. They should be in there. Peter Frampton. Grand Funk is not in there. The Grassroots aren't in. The Guess Who. I mean, that list is... also, I know you like these guys. Tommy James and the Shondells.
Oh, my goodness. So underrated.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a good band.
Absolutely should be in the Rock
like 'em.
Hall of Fame.
I like them. And so they've got a really long list of people over the years who've been ignored. Thin Lizzy, Three Dog Night.
And seriously, though, the Connells are not on there.
Yeah, they're not.
I mean, the
mentioned.
album Ring alone is
Sure.
a reason to get them in.
Yeah, no question. Also, the Redskins weren't they supposed to release their name?
That was
their
a big
new
plan
name?
yesterday.
Yesterday, they all they did was say we're not going to be the Redskins anymore.
So they retired the Redskins name on Redskins letterhead?
Yeah. Yes. And people are all excited about that. They used the name Redskins 6 times, and they're releasing they're not going to be the Redskins anymore. Okay. Calm down, everybody. What I love about this, though, is now the Navajo Nation is making a suggestion on what their nickname should be.
Oh, what are they going with?
You know what? You had your chance. We're not going down that road anymore. They want the Code Talkers. The Washington Code Talkers.
Oh, that's a cool historical reference there.
Cumbersome football name, however.
Right. But maybe, okay, how about this one? That's a good band name. The Code
Sure.
Talkers.
Yeah.
Right?
Just not a good nickname for an NFL football team.
Yeah, but those are some World War II heroes there. That's good stuff there. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Code Talkers. Code Talkers doesn't exactly elicit fear and trembling.
Yeah, let's go.
We're playing the Code Talkers this week.
Yeah, Thanksgiving game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Code Talkers.
Doesn't really roll off the tongue. All right, this will wake you up a little bit. This meme that's
Oh yeah, this is a fish they just recently discovered. It's making
so
the rounds.
they didn't turn it into a meme. It's just a
Not
picture
yet.
of a fish.
Me on Monday morning. That'd be
The
meme.
telescope fish.
Yeah, it's a weird. Look at this thing.
What?
I don't know if it lives
An
like
ugly
5,000
cat.
miles below the surface.
I bet it
of the
does.
ocean.
Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Hello.
What is going on there? That is just not right, man. And that's not even a face a mother could love. That is get out in my face. Oh, God.
Wow.
That's should have had a parental warning.
Amazing. Also, as COVID-19 positive cases are spiking, we're hearing from a lot of you about experiences in your own world, and these are some of those experiences that we've been hearing about. From PatHead, the Dune Dane Ranger. Regarding COVID testing, my father-in-law had to go to the ER last week due to an infection after pancreas being removed. The test results took 24 hours, which they lost, and by default, he was deemed positive and put into the COVID ward.
What?
That is not how it should work.
That's a positive test?
Yep. Also, we have this. The first person I know was tested last week for work, came back positive, no symptoms, swears it's a mistake, but was told by the nurse if he gets tested again, it would be counted as another positive. Ooh. He's been isolated for 2 weeks. So some of these numbers that we're seeing CNN flash 24/7, they are the same person. Yes, they could be. Yes,
could be the same person.
Could very well be.
Testing positive. Multiple. Okay.
From Smirkette, friend of mine in Phoenix and his wife recently tested positive for COVID last month. He had no symptoms and his wife's were mild. They went for antibody testing last week. Both negative for antibodies.
Oh, good.
How did that happen? I don't know. PatHead Donnie sent Donnie 1983 sent this to us. Hi, huge PatHead here. Just thought I would share with you what I learned over the 4th of July weekend. My mom is a nurse at our clinic in town and at our hospital, local hospital. We're a tiny town in eastern Washington near Pullman. We were talking about how many cases are in our country. We're around 40 cases. Oh, in their county. According to local sources, they've got about 40 people in this county who have it. The catch is, in talking with my mom, she said our actual number is around 19 people. Our area counts every positive test as a separate case. Some people are tested multiple times before getting a negative result. This means that one person could count as 2 or more cases. If this is happening elsewhere, and you know it is,
see?
That might contribute to a rise in cases with the death rate staying the same or going down. I shared that in a Washington Facebook group and had another couple tell me that they do that in their area as well. And one had a friend who was tested 7 times. Just getting really tired of being misled. Me too.
Seriously.
It's really horrible how we can't trust our medical professionals, our local, state, or federal authorities. We just have no idea.
They don't know how to stop it. They don't know how to test for it.
They don't even necessarily know how it's delivered to people. Does it hang in the air forever? Does it hang in the air for 5 minutes? Is it there for a week? I mean, every day that changes. Also, contact on surfaces. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Oh, it's highly unlikely you get that. No, it's pretty likely you could get it from that. Okay, so it does live on surfaces? No. Next day, yes, of course it does. The next week, no, it really doesn't. Day after that, yeah, it does. We just found out it does. Masks. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should wear. No, you shouldn't. There's no need. Yes, you need to. Otherwise, you're going to kill everybody. I mean, but if you don't comply,
oh boy,
with everything they say, even if it conflicts what you just heard yesterday, you're a really bad person, and this is a partisan battle.
Yeah,
I can't take it.
Yeah, it wasn't a few weeks ago that I stopped off at a location where you drop off your packages and all that stuff. No, I'm not talking about a post office. And so there was nobody in there who had a mask, right? And the owner and I were talking about the masks and stuff, and he's like, this is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. So I had to go there yesterday, and I thought, oh, I know the owner guy. He's really cool. And he wasn't there. And now all the employees are wearing masks. And the lady who helped me, you would have thought I was a leper, man. The way she stood back, and she made it so obvious that she didn't like me being in there without a mask. You know, it's like, okay, you put the label on that, sir, and leaning way back and just using as few words as possible to communicate with me. I'm telling you, man, this is a fault line, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Wait till this vaccine. It's going to get ugly.
Well, you're going to be mandated. I mean, if they'll mandate a mask, you don't think they're going to mandate that you take the vaccine? Of course they will.
Oh, that's when it gets ugly.
You'll be a genocidal maniac if you say, no, thank you. I'm good. Why do you want people to die?
Right. So right now, you know that law enforcement is not enforcing it. In fact, I made sure to go to this location because it's in a county where the sheriff says we're not enforcing this. And I knew the business wasn't going to enforce this. But just wait until you need that card.
Oh, boy.
To enroll your kids or get a driver's license.
You don't want the vaccine? That's fine.
Yeah,
hopefully you're going to homeschool now from now on because your kids can't go to school.
Don't want to work? Okay.
All right.
That's cool. I mean,
can you work from
choice.
home? Nope. Oh, well, too bad you don't want the vaccine. Huh.
Yeah, that was your choice.
But you can't force me. No, I'm not forcing you. You can stay home. You just don't have to be employed. That's all.
Oh, I don't like.
Oh, it's coming.
It
is coming. 888-900-3393. Let me tell you about Freedom Financial. The anxiety and stress caused by debt is overwhelming. Makes you feel alone, like there's no way out, and especially now. And you just feel like you're being crushed. But there is a way out. You don't have to go through this alone. And Freedom Debt Solutions is here to help. There's no one-size-fits-all solution to getting out of debt. Freedom Debt Solution has more than 400 debt experts standing by to recommend the right solution for your specific situation. They'll go through all of your debt and figure out the best way to get you out of it. Since 2002, Freedom Debt Solutions has served over 750,000 clients. They've settled over 2.7 million accounts and over $10 billion in debt. So if you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt and you're struggling to make those monthly payments, there is hope. Stop the stress and anxiety your debt is causing. Find out how you can talk to a Freedom Debt Solutions expert and get your free personalized debt consultation today. Go to freedomdebtsolutions.com/unleashed. freedomdebtsolutions.com/unleashed.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
And, of course, California with their spike. Or is it really a spike? Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, has ordered another shutdown, another lockdown of businesses. All bars, all dine-in restaurants, all movie theaters, museums, and other indoor businesses across the state closed yesterday. They're right back. They're right back to the shutdown. The affected businesses include all operations of bars, indoor operations at restaurants, wineries, tasting rooms, movie theaters, family entertainment centers, zoos, museums, card rooms. What exactly is a card room? Where you go and play cards, like pinochle and bridge?
Oh, the pinochle. Mm-hmm. That's how to
I'm
research
a big pinochle enthusiast.
Yeah.
I can't get enough of it.
So,
really
see, I'm a Go Fish guy.
Okay.
A card room is a gaming establishment that exclusively offers card games for play by the public.
Wasn't exactly tough to figure that one out, was it?
Yeah, I guess. I thought there was going to be something else there, I guess. Sorry.
All of these, except for bars, will be allowed to operate outdoors if they can. So I guess you could have an outdoor tasting room. If you have an outdoor space in your restaurant, people can eat outside. Otherwise, you're locked down all over again. Also ordered the closure of fitness centers, so you can't go to church again. Mm-hmm. Personal care services, malls, offices, hair salons, and barber shops. Okay. Wow. Exactly what Steve Mnuchin said can't happen. We cannot go through a second lockdown. It's going to cripple us. It's going to kill us. But they did.
Here we are.
Congratulations, California. What, the 7th largest economy on Earth? Or is it 5th? It's for sure in the top 10. Might even be top 5. And they're closing it all down again.
But I'm sure... Isn't Newsom's winery going to still be the only thing open in the entire state?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, 5th largest economy
5th. Wow.
In the world, California. Well, not anymore.
Sure not going to be after this. Of course, I mean, other countries are going through similar circumstances, but still, this is
not
really bad.
Yeah, we're ridiculous.
Really bad. Yeah. Oh, by the way, did you you see the headline? Steve Deace highlighted this on his show yesterday. I I don't think I have it here in my prep, but I'm trying to remember. The headline said something like, Sweden's death count nears 0, but experts warn, don't look at that as a success.
What is this?
Wait.
That's something similar to what Fauci was saying last week.
What? So if they were having a high death rate, could we look at that as a success?
Yeah, that's good.
That is... they are trying so desperately to control us with this. They don't want us to think that anything good is happening here.
Yeah, and they didn't lock down at all over there in Sweden. Right?
No, and that's what they point out.
Exactly.
Sweden had huge problems in the beginning, and 5 or 10 times more than Norway and Denmark and whatever. But now their death rate has been below 5 in the entire country for the last, week or so. But don't look at that as a success, because that's not success, okay? What would you consider success? If lots of people are dying, you can't win.
We're out of words.
Yeah, there are no words in the English language.
The word
adequate
bank
for this.
is empty.
For sure.
Oh.
It's absolute madness.
It's a madhouse!
Thank you.
A madhouse!
Something weird going on, too, with businesses across the U.S. requesting exact change.
Yeah.
Some kind of coins shortage
Yeah,
going on.
there's a shortage of coinage. Yeah, because that's come up. A lot of people have been messaging me about that.
Really?
Yeah. You want to...
When you go into a store and buy something, they can't make change for you?
Yeah, in fact, there was one location that was apparently giving out vouchers for change to be used later. So they're saying you can round it up and donate it to some cause, or they can give you a little printout or something.
Oh, you can't round it down, of course, right? If you can't make...
Don't be ridiculous.
If it's $5.43, you can't round it down to $5.
Okay, I got it, Mr.
Right.
A lower death rate is a better thing.
Yeah.
Got it.
I do view that as success. I really do. So that shows you how stupid I am.
I mean...
Shows you right
your
there.
math skills are worse than mine, apparently. So yeah, this is helpful, right? This is This is another
good.
Another societal breakdown here, which is of course going to pave the way for a cashless society. But I digress. This is fun. So we're running out of coins. I don't know how this happened though. That I haven't really done too much research on. But
did they stop the U.S. Mint because of
that's what I'm wondering.
COVID?
Yeah, let's see.
COVID-19 pandemic has significantly disrupted the supply chain and normal circulation patterns for U.S. coin. Why? Really strange.
Yeah. Let's see. So they've decreased. Oh, gosh. Here we go. Here's the line from the story. The U.S. Mint says its production of coins has also decreased due to measures put in place to protect its employees from the coronavirus. See, people are going back to work, but we're less efficient because we have all these cumbersome rules in place now. But they don't worry. Officials are confident that it's going to get better soon. It'll sort itself out. Once more of the economy opens, that's just it. We're not.
Some places back east are asking customers to either pay with credit card or debit cards, which most people do anyway, probably. But
yeah, I guess.
Still, it's a weird situation to develop. You would never think, well, what's next is a coin shortage.
There are so many unintended consequences from this. Thanks, China.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, you kids.
Oh, they've got our eternal gratitude for this. That's just great because football season is another deal that continues to get worse by the day.
Yeah.
A lot of people are speculating it's not going to happen at all. And, I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. In fact, I think it's likely.
Shh.
Yeah, it doesn't help not to talk about it, Keith.
Let's change every NFL team nickname to the Code Talkers if that means we get football.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that, but that's not what it means. Also, how is, the conference game thing is so stupid. We mentioned this the other. How does that help anything? BYU and Utah are in the same metro area. They're 48 miles apart. It takes 48 minutes to drive from one campus to the other. Utah's closest Pac-12 opponent is 500 miles away in Denver. Well, Boulder,
No.
500 miles. So that's safer than going down I-15.
Yeah, I forgot which PatHead said that this weekend. So Nebraska and Rutgers, Nebraska and New Jersey.
How far are those
can
apart?
play, and they use the point BYU and Utah can't 45 miles. It was Iowa State, 45 miles apart. Can or something like that. Yeah.
Crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
Nothing makes sense, man.
It doesn't make sense. And that's why this Yahoo sports reporter wrote this article.
Yahoo Sports is really starting to get under my skin lately with some of
Have they done this multiple times?
They've done so many articles, not only about doomsday prophecies for football season, but the social justice crap. I mean, as far as sports apps go, Yahoo's is superior. It's like the Yahoo Score app. It just is on every level. However, some of these articles lately that I'm getting alerted to are driving me nuts. What's this one, Pat?
He says, take a deep breath and begin to get comfortable with the idea there's virtually no chance of playing football in any recognizable form this fall.
Get out my face.
Now, see, had the Pac-12 and Big Ten not done what they did, I would call BS on this, but this is going to spiral.
But I don't want to hear it.
I know.
La, 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 la.
But we should get comfortable with it because it's probably going to happen.
There's nothing that has changed in the last 4 months that I'm comfortable with.
I know.
Okay?
I know.
So that's not going to happen.
You know what would be a better idea? And I don't know why. And I guess they're talking about this a little bit, but they should talk about it a lot more. Just push the season back. If it's that dangerous, start in January. We should have this, somewhat under control by January. If we don't, then our civilization's probably over. So start playing NCAA football and maybe even the NFL in January. Why can't you do that? At least all the seniors would get a chance to play football their senior year. If there's no way they can allow all seniors in football to come back next year if they wipe out this season. There's just too many scholarships, and it would cause too much havoc.
That's what they're doing with the spring sports that they put on a shelf.
I know.
Let's see here.
Difference is spring sports don't have as many scholarships available. And so, football, you got 85 scholarships available.
Well, right now in the NFL, they're testing out this new face shield that they want all the players to wear.
I saw that.
And we have an image of it here on Blaze TV. I don't know if you want to put that up there.
Yeah.
But J.J. Watt's already said, I'm not wearing a face shield.
Oh, did he?
He says, I'm not playing. Because I've played with a visor before, which is very similar to this. And he's like, he said something about I did 2 practices or something, and I said never again. So this is gonna just thanks, China. Look at this. So there you go. You can breathe and whatever.
Yeah, people can spit on you, and it just hits the face shield.
Oh, see, they should have had these when Bill Romanowski was playing, because that's all he did was spit on people. So that would have been helpful.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so anyway, more good news. Yeah.
Yeah. It just keeps coming.
In the
frankly.
COVID world, man.
Yep. This Yahoo sports writer says, here's the cruel truth about how college football leaders approach football this fall. The entirety of their plan was based on hope. Hope that the COVID-19 would go away. Hope that college campuses wouldn't be a petri dish for the virus. Hope that they could figure out a way to play a contact sport in a time of mandatory social distancing. Hope for a vaccine to keep players healthy and seats full. And, none of that's come to fruition. So, we probably won't have football to soothe our irritation this fall. We'll see. Maybe it'll still happen. Maybe a miracle will occur, and the football gods will intervene and see to it that we do have football.
What's going to happen is Trump is going to continue to be improperly blamed for everything, all the fallout from this, okay? And so then they're going to announce, assuming Joe Biden rides that to victory, oh, look, football season, November 4th. We're going to start next week. Next week, miracle time. We just figured it out.
I'm almost willing to allow that to happen if that's going to make football come back.
Oh, no.
I have to root for that.
No,
yes.
No.
couple of tweets here. Dan Schiffler tweets, why not just shut down California as a whole? Build a wall, keep them all there.
Oh, wait. There's an opportunity here.
Corey Pa tweets, people love the mask because it's a clear way to identify folks who think differently. There's no active symbol for anti-vaxxers, which leaves them no outlet for their need to attack.
Okay, I'm not going with anti-vaxxer. I'm going with pro-freedom.
Okay. The Steve 42, 2020 is the year that the last thread of common sense finally snapped. James, also known as James.
Whoa, how do you get that one?
There are no words left because social justice warriors got offended by everything that wasn't Newspeak and Scrabble. Hashtag 1984. I need to, we all probably do. I need to reread 1984 because it is going on right now in 2020.
Yeah, 1984 and Idiocracy have converged in the year 2020.
From what I've heard of Idiocracy, yes, they're both in progress right now.
Yes.
We join the movie and the book already in progress. Thank you.
So you know how they say read the book before you watch the movie? So read 1984.
I get a kick out of these people who say, read the book. California doctors say they've seen more deaths from suicide than coronavirus since the lockdowns. Doctors in Northern California say that, what I just said, they said. The numbers are unprecedented, according to Michael Boisblanc of John Muir Medical Center in Walnut Creek, California. A year's worth of suicides in the last 4 weeks. He said he believes it's time for California officials to end the stay-at-home order. Well, they just went back on it and doubled down on it. Personally, I think it's time. I think originally this was put in place to flatten the curve and to make sure hospitals have the resources to take care of COVID patients. We have the current resources to do that, and our other community health is suffering.
Yeah. We just talked earlier on in the show about all the fallout from COVID and society and stuff like that. And, you know, it affects something like, we don't get our football on time. But there's much more larger issues like, I don't know, we just had the thing, 32% of Americans missed their July mortgage payments.
To 32%? That is a massive number. Wow. Hopefully banks are working with people. I would hope and pray that, you know, if you call your bank and you say, look, I just can't right now, Yeah,
whenever you're on hold, I've been on hold quite a bit with banks lately. There is a message on there. If you've been financially impacted from COVID-19, please tell, the representative.
Yeah, I think most reasonable people would work with you on this. Yeah. Then one of the nurses, one of the trauma nurses at this medical center says, what I've seen recently, I've never seen before. I've never seen so much intentional injury. The unintended consequences just continue to compile, and they're spiraling out of control. But the left doesn't care about that. All they care about is controlling you. They want to control you. They want to control the economy. They want to restart the economy as socialism. And they want to get rid of Trump.
Yeah, they don't care.
That's all they can see.
They don't care what vessel they take to get to the end.
Not at all.
But they're going to take it.
Not at all. The ones who are always pretending to care about the little people. Well, you see right now how little they care about anybody else but themselves. They couldn't care less that you're suffering at home. They don't care. Well, do you want people to die? No. Well, then we need to shut down again. We need to listen to Fauci. What about Dr. Fauci? Dr. Fauci said we need to stop. Dr. Fauci.
Wait, which Dr. Fauci? The Dr. Fauci that says not a big deal on February 29th?
Yeah, the new doctor. The new Dr. Fauci, Keith. Are you stupid?
The new Dr. Fauci? Or the latest, new.
The latest incarnation of Fauci. That's the one we need to listen to.
Got it.
It is crazy how they treat this guy like a god, like he's infallible, as if everything he says is golden and true and righteous.
Yeah, I got to find it. Somebody tagged me on Twitter this morning. I've got to get this image over to Daniel and Rob. It's so funny that you say that because somebody has literally set up a shrine to Fauci in their window. This guy was going door to door.
Like as a joke? Or
No. This guy was going door to
gosh.
door. He's running for Congress. And he skipped that house because in their window, I'm trying to find it desperately here while you're talking, there it is. Cool. I'm going to send this to you guys. Check your box there. Anyway, it can only be described as a shrine set up in the window of their house. You'll love this, man. You'll love this. Stand by.
Did I not send in the Fauci the reporter? I think it might be cut number 1, the lying NBC reporter, and I believe it's the Fox News clip where, and I thought I sent this in, but I don't see it here on our list.
I don't remember that one.
Probably forgot again. Chris Steyerwalt of Fox News was baffled, just so baffled at how the administration could say anything negative about Fauci at all. I know. I have it on. Yes, I've got it over here. That's why. So on Fox News, they've got these 4 people in a group shot. Okay. And the Fox News anchor is asking them about what President Trump said about him and what some Trump officials said about Fauci recently.
I have a very good relationship with Dr. Fauci. I've had for a long time, right from the beginning. I find him to be a very nice person. I don't always agree with him.
I respect Dr. Fauci a lot, but...
Okay, by the way, check out what Trump just said. He likes him a lot. He's a good guy. I don't always agree with him. Oh, no. Oh, the humanity.
That seems reasonable.
It does seem reasonable.
Yeah. Dr. Fauci is not 100% right.
Not
and
100%.
He also doesn't necessarily, and he admits that, have the whole national interest in mind. He looks at it from a very narrow public health point of view.
Now, here's
Significance
Chris Steyerwalt.
of this, the backstory here.
It's just, it boggles the mind, right? So whether the administration wants to have Anthony Fauci out front or playing a role behind the scenes or whatever, the efforts that you hear both publicly there from his fellow task force member, but also what they're doing behind the scenes in pushing out these negative narratives about Fauci and briefing reporters about things that they said Fauci did wrong. It just makes no sense. Ari's 100% right. This election is about coronavirus. This election is about coronavirus more than the 2004 election was about the Iraq War, more even than the 2008 election was about the financial panic of that year.
Well, it seems like to people like Chris Steyerwalt, the 2020 election is about how infallible Dr. Anthony Fauci is. Because you can't say one thing you can't even just say, well, he hasn't been 100% right. That's why we don't listen to him on absolutely everything. You can't even say that.
My goodness, that's Fox News.
They have deified this guy to the point where he can't be challenged. Wow.
Yeah, Saint Anthony, huh?
Yes.
That's who he's become. Saint Anthony of Fauci.
How did this happen where he's so revered? I guess because he doesn't fall in line with everything Donald Trump says, and they hate Trump to the point where if you defy him at all and you're perceived as being in his administration, well, you're the greatest person of all time. And I think that's what's going on with him right now. 888-900-3393. Let's go to Sam in Utah. Hey, Sam, you're on the Blaze.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Doing good.
Good. So, I just kind of wanted to call and give you a rundown on the weekend I had here on, mainly on Saturday, but it kind of started, a week or so ago. Well, I guess the beginning of the month when a couple counties here in Utah, including Salt Lake County, neighboring county to us, decided that they were going to mandate masks. And Governor Herbert had said, no mask mandates. We're going to encourage people. We're going to let, everybody just do that. But then Salt Lake County, Summit County, our county, both kind of in close time to each other, filed for an exemption from that so that they could mandate masks. So that was fun. He granted that exemption. I actually was looking at the request letter here not long ago, and I must be don't feel bad, Pat. I'm probably just pretty stupid myself, because I also think that low death count is a good thing. And out of curiosity, I searched the letter itself. They talked about death or deaths 0 times. Hospitalizations were mentioned once. And just in the same paragraph, that's another thing they do, is put hospitalizations and cases just in the same paragraph, and everybody automatically links the two.
Yep.
They have a lot to indicate that, like procedures that were held off, and people are being hospitalized, but it's not necessarily with or even from COVID-19 at all. So they had one flimsy little chart about, mass populations versus unmasked. They talked about cases in 2 pages of that letter. They talked about cases 6 times.
Jeez.
Yeah. And so they got their exemption. Now, so come back to Saturday. I got off work. I was going to go down to Salt Lake, drive down the mountain into the valley, spend some time with some friends. But I wanted to stop off at a Army Navy surplus store down there that I know of and haven't been to for a while. And I thought, hey, if anybody's gonna, be leaning on this, I haven't been wearing a mask. My wife's pregnant. She's been saying, I have a medical exemption. I don't need to wear one. I was diagnosed with asthma as a kid, so I've been saying, hey, I got asthma. I can't wear one. So I went down to this surplus store. But it should be fine. They got the signs and everything everywhere. I was in there 5 minutes before, it's pretty packed. There's other people in there. Everybody's, I think, as far as I could tell, everybody was masked up. I got tracked down by an employee within 5 minutes of being there. Asked me if I had a mask. I said no. He said, I've got a medical exemption if it means anything. And he said, no, you have to have a mask. We've got curbside pickup. I was like, okay, I'm not going to push it. I'm going to leave. And the more time went on, like, I just pray, Lord, don't let me do something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just got, I'm going to be honest, I got pretty livid. I was like, shoot, if they're doing it,
Yeah.
But then I actually went online and looked at the reviews from the place, and they had actually been doing this for a while before it was even mandated. And like people were commenting, I got tracked down by an employee. They harassed me. They kicked me out, and because I had to wear a mask, and the replies were snarky and rude and just really unprofessional too, actually from the business.
Amazing, just amazing. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Sam. Yeah, and that's going on everywhere, in places where you don't expect it. I don't know, like Texas, for instance. I mean, our governor is kind of freaked out and flipped on this, and the guy who was pro-freedom the whole time, we're not going to mandate that you wear a mask, has mandated that we wear a mask. And in Utah, same thing. I mean, and if you're not wearing one, you are treated poorly.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, if you lose the red states, man, my goodness, seriously.
And we have.
Yeah, and there's this neighborhood app, and typically people just put like, I've got golf clubs for sale, or who's a good, termite inspector, or who should I get to build a fence, just general stuff on there. Somebody posted some snarky thing over the weekend about, I see you at Walmart not wearing your mask. I know, all this stuff. And oh my goodness, World War III has broken out on the neighborhood app about masks. Half the camp is wear a mask, 24/7. The other half is like, I'll do what I want to do. I mean,
yeah. We can't
agree on anything.
Come together on anything. Including a pandemic.
And you know what? And it's even that way now with sports, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're gonna watch? Oh, you must hate America too. I mean, help.
Yep.
Help us, aliens. Just get here.
Like they're not already here. That was cute. No, we are definitely being manipulated right now. We're definitely.
Oh, and we're taking the bait.
I mean, they pick and choose the information and the stats that they release and rely on and punctuate. They are very manipulative in this thing. Just try to control us. And sadly, it's pretty much working. Let me take 60 seconds to tell you about Home Title Lock. Health and safety is on the top of everybody's mind, obviously, right now. No matter what happens, you want to make sure your loved ones are protected. That's why LegalZoom, not Home Title Lock, LegalZoom continues to provide a reliable way for everyone to set up the right estate plan without even leaving your home. This is so great. And, you might not even be able to leave your home in some areas. And in other areas, that'll probably be the case again soon. So You can find all the answers to your questions at LegalZoom.com. Do you need a last will and testament or a living trust? Maybe you need advanced healthcare directives, power of attorney. Thankfully, you don't have to figure everything out on your own. LegalZoom's online resources make it really easy to get started. If you need to speak to an attorney, their independent attorney network is there to guide and advise you. Now, LegalZoom is not a law firm, so you don't pay law firm prices with the expensive billable hours adding up. Take an important step for your family today. Go to LegalZoom.com and get started on a last will, living trust, and lots more. Make sure you enter the promo code UNLEASHED at checkout for special savings. It's LegalZoom.com, offer code UNLEASHED.
Pat Gray returns.
Nice whammy bar there. That's good. Whenever you play Guitar Hero, do you really play that whammy bar a lot?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. I mean, that's the only reason I would ever play that game. It's just to mess around with the whammy bar.
888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. By the way, there's a sanctuary now for illegal aliens in Maryland. It's a little area that they've been providing sanctuary. You don't have to worry about it if you're here illegally. They don't care.
That's the Home Depot parking lot. No?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
But this is in a much larger area than just the parking lot.
My bad.
So the area has become filled with murder and rape crimes. It's a de facto autonomous zone for MS-13 and illegal alien murderers and rapists. Jeez. I mean, it's Chaz to like the 10th power, and it's been going on for years, and nobody seems to care. You talk about lawlessness in this country? Did you ever think we'd get to this point? Wow. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Few tweets here. Pew Pew One Pew. This virus is so unbelievably deadly that you have to get tested and wait a few days to figure out if you even have it.
Boy, the sense of urgency.
Yeah. Equus Limits 10. The way this germ is being handled in 2020, you'd think we were back in 1920, primitive-like. Exponentially, irregardless, wouldn't matter if you have football. It'd just be a 3-hour social justice forum every game.
I got it.
NFL's going to be like that, yeah. I don't know if the NCAA would have been. Can't wait. Brian,
would have been? We're already talking about it in past tense?
Yes, I guess so. I guess I'm just trying to accept the inevitable. Brian Moore, how is it we're protecting the young, healthy college athletes who are the least vulnerable with a 0.0003% mortality rate? Still don't hear much about giving this much attention to nursing homes. Country has gone back. It has. It's gone backwards ass instead of ass backwards.
Backwards. I don't know.
This is what he wrote was backwards ass.
You know what? That sounds like a future bingo square. A backwards ass. That's a trying to envision a backwards ass.
We've got an amazing and really weird conspiracy theory that's been circulating in the last few days. At least I've just heard about it in the last few days.
I think we've just heard about it the last few days. I think it's been going on for
a while.
Yeah.
For years?
No, yeah.
Is it really?
Oh, this video that you're talking about here is actually from, gosh, I don't know what year it is, but it's been years since it was on the local news there.
That's crazy. The Wayfair thing?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thought you were talking about something on our show sheet there.
No,
there's too many conspiracies to keep up. I thought you were going with clip 5. Never mind.
No,
okay.
I'm talking about Hilary's going to be in here to talk to us about Wayfair furniture, and I guess Amazon is somehow involved. Supposedly, people think they're involved in sex trafficking of children. It's so bizarre. Of course, they deny it strongly. If you go to Snopes, they say it's false.
Oh, well, then take that to the bank.
But Hillary has done she's done her own research.
Very intrepid on this.
And she might have some surprises for us. We're going to talk to her
it's
at the bottom of the hour.
Definitely compelling, I will
it's interesting.
say that.
Now, the conspiracy you were alluding to that's been going on for years is that birds aren't real.
Birds aren't
real.
They're not real. Like the birds that you see, like maybe you're enjoying a cup of coffee listening to Pat Gray Unleashed right now on your back patio.
And you're seeing some birds.
Yeah, out of the feeder there that you put out bird seed.
They're not real. Not real. They're actually surveillance tools of the government.
No.
They've been replaced by robot birds.
I could buy that too.
Drone birds. And this started in 1959, so they've been doing it for a long time.
Right.
I guess they slaughtered 12 billion birds. I'm not sure where they put them all, but they slaughtered 12 billion birds and replaced them all with flying surveillance units. So,
yeah. If Jeffy were here, he'd be like, and
your point.
Thank you.
Here's a guy Is this the guy who's talking about it on a morning show?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's one of the birds aren't real representatives talking about it.
All right. Maybe you've seen the billboard near the Highland Strip or heard the story
I think
on
this is
Wednesdays
Memphis,
Live
Tennessee.
at 9. A campaign called Birds Are Not Real brings its efforts to the Mid-South.
And this morning, we are joined by one of the messengers of the movement. Peter McIndoe is here to tell us how this all came about. We want to emphasize you were not the founder.
No, ma'am.
So how did you become aware of it? What is the message of the movement?
The message of the movement is essentially to spread awareness.
Pause it for a second. He looks like the birds aren't real messenger, doesn't he?
He sure
Like
does.
the spokesman for birds aren't real. Here he is. This is the guy you pictured in your mind before
at
you
least
saw him.
put on a clean shirt, man. Comb your hair. I mean, look, if you've been blessed with hair, treat it right, okay? That's all I'm saying.
All right, let's see what he has to say.
Essentially to spread awareness that from 1959 through 2001, the government mercilessly genocided over 12 billion birds and simultaneously replaced them with surveillance drones in disguise that film us every day as equally as these cameras are filming us right now.
So what do you have to back that up?
Yeah, what do you got, man?
To back that up, I have as much evidence as the birds have provided. There's so much.
So this is really satire. I mean, you don't really believe that happened,
no,
correct?
you didn't.
This is a satirical campaign to
Excuse me,
make
ma'am?
the point
Excuse
that
me?
what? You're looking at me like, no, it's not satire. I really do believe this.
Uh-oh. Oh, snap.
Honestly, it's kind of offensive.
Okay. So it's not satire.
I don't think you would say that if I said birds are real. You know, I don't know why
You
the
got me
other side of
there.
the argument can't be treated
You're
with
right.
equal respect.
I wouldn't have.
Except that before we came out on air, you said this is a satirical message. So what is
I
it?
never said that.
He never.
So what point are
never
you
said
trying
that.
to make here? I mean, and why
she
did
just
this
blew the whole
movement come
gag.
about and how?
Well, this movement came about in 1976, just to avoid any, liberal media hit job. This didn't start with me. This started in 1976, when whispering started coming about from the White House, saying that birds were in the process of being murdered on a mass level.
Yeah.
When this started coming about, that's when the movement began. This movement is reactionary. We really didn't start this. The government started this.
How come it took so long to get billboards up and for any of us to hear about this?
That's an excellent question. So really before the internet age, before the internet era, it was very easy to censor ideas and opinions that aren't popular and that people don't agree with. Now that we have the internet, there are no more book burnings, there are no more censored television ads.
Well, there are attempts to do all of that, but you're right. It's like Arab Spring. It's very grassroots, ground
So where does
up.
this movement go from here?
Yeah, let's
From
wrap this
here,
up.
we're looking to see change in legislation. We're looking to see a mass spread awareness.
Are lawmakers, though, really taking this seriously? Because a lot of people will have their doubts or have their questions about whether or not the
This guy
movement is
really
really
doesn't
serious
know.
or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's been a really hard part of this, honestly.
Yeah,
Since
people
the
not
billboard's
taking
gone
it
up,
seriously.
there's been
Buy our
a
t-shirts.
reaction of supporters and loyal bird truthers coming out,
Bird truthers.
saluting, bowing. It's almost become like a sacred pilgrimage to see it. Others, though, seem to have some kind of laugh response, and it really pains me.
Yeah.
So on the website, there are t-shirts you can buy.
All
There's
right,
products
we
you
got
can buy.
it.
There are going to be.
Buy our clothing.
He does a pretty good job of pretending to be serious.
Yeah, he didn't care for her outing him on the whole satire thing.
He didn't.
That was for behind the scenes. Stop. But there are people that actually, if you do 5 seconds of research, the people are buying this stuff.
Yeah.
Either that or some other people besides him are great actors. It's
crazy.
It's
I mean,
fun.
something that's demonstrably false, that birds die all the time. Do a little, autopsy on the bird and see.
Oh, that's a good idea.
See if
I
it's
never thought of that.
mechanical.
Yeah, don't
see
be
if there's
so-
a camera in there.
Sure. Like when the next bird flies into your plate glass window, don't be so quick to pick it up with a grocery bag and toss it in the trash.
Slice it open.
Yeah.
And see if it's not some sort of government mechanism.
Because there are no more real birds, correct?
Right. Yeah. Birds aren't real.
Then we get to the bottom of this.
Haven't been real since 2001, I guess, when they finished the process.
Yeah, it took them about 40 years to
Kind
kill
of
them.
strange. He contradicted himself, though. He said it started in 1959, and then he said it started in 1976.
Well, no, that's when someone let it leak out of the White House.
Okay.
See, all the presidents between 59 and 76 were hush-hush. Gerald
Okay,
Ford,
they had smooth sailing until 76.
Ford gets in there for 5 minutes, and he's like, all right, I got to know about these birds. And then it slipped out somehow. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and there's another video online somewhere, I don't know, that shows that that Kennedy found out about this in 1963, like October of 63.
So he wasn't behind it. He just found out about it?
Found out about it.
Okay.
And he was going to go public with this information.
Uh-oh, and that's
then
why they killed him?
What happened was November 22nd comes around.
Oh, my.
Yeah, because Kennedy was going to spill the beans on the birds.
That the birds weren't real. And at that point, there were some real birds, apparently.
Yeah, they were still in the
It took
process.
them a while to kill all 12 billion. So
that's the thing there. So anyway, birdsaren'treal.com if you would like to
birds
go
aren't
and
real.
see.
And in just moments, we're going to find out that Wayfair Furniture is apparently a sex trafficking organization, allegedly. Which I kind of have my doubts on.
Mm-hmm.
But
I will say that that conspiracy, the Wayfair thing, is 1 billion times more believable than the birds aren't real guy. And Hilary Kennedy will be in here to show us some of the evidence she's uncovered over the weekend.
All right, I'm excited. Flight 422 from Seattle, Washington to Chicago, Illinois took off the other day at 11 p.m. But there was a passenger on board who was shouting that he was going to kill everybody on the plane if they didn't accept that Jesus was a black man. Oh, my goodness. What a weird...
This was yesterday?
It was Sunday.
Sunday night? Okay.
Yeah, Sunday night.
All right.
The man became extremely belligerent and physically aggressive during ascent.
Oh, my goodness.
So then a passenger started filming it, recording it. And he started screaming that he was going to kill them in the name of Jesus. Accept it. Die in the name of Jesus, he shouted. I will kill everybody. I will kill everybody on this plane unless you accept Jesus was a black man. Accept it, he screamed. Then I think some passengers got up to put a stop to it, and he was restrained by a group of passengers. As he continued to shout, though, die in the name of Jesus.
Wow. See,
wow.
If you were on that flight and you're a fan of this show, you could say, look, I'm not going to go there with you on the Jesus was black, but can I sell you on the birds aren't real?
Or that Wayfair Furniture, is a sex trafficking organization. Can I interest you in any of those?
Wow.
So between that guy and Don Lemon, we've had some really bizarre statements about the savior of the universe.
Yeah, what did Don Lemon say? He said that Jesus admitted he wasn't?
Let's watch and see. Here's what Don Lemon had to say about Jesus the other night.
Engaged in a discussion. But here's the thing. Jesus Christ, if that's who you believe in, Jesus Christ, admittedly was not perfect when he was here on this earth.
Wait.
So why are we deifying the founders of this country? Many of whom owned slaves, and in the Constitution, the original one, they didn't want. They put slavery in there that slavery should be abolished because it was the way the king wanted. And then the Congress said, no way.
Wow.
This guy doesn't know
where to begin.
What he's talking about on anything.
Yeah, and kudos to Chris Cuomo for not jumping in there, a Roman Catholic believer. Gee.
Wow.
What a mess.
Wait, Jesus admittedly? No, it's the exact opposite of that. And no one, by the way, to my knowledge, has ever said the founders were perfect. But they were the best men available for the job. I mean, how are they being deified? Because we don't want their statues torn down and their memory erased? Is that deifying them? Because most of us believe they were so much more than slaveholders. And we understand that was a practice that was placed upon them from the beginning, from before the beginning of this country. How do you not understand this when you ignore everything that Margaret Sanger was really about? Isn't it interesting how they adore her, how they revere her? A person who talked about genocide on blacks, way beyond just being a slave owner. She wanted to kill all black people. But they love her. She was fantastic. The founders, who were flawed individuals and had some really difficult situations to overcome, keeping in mind it was 1776, not 2020, when there was a whole different mindset. But we're still going to hold them accountable by today's standards. And we're going to place all of that on them, but not with Margaret Sanger or, say, George Bernard Shaw or any of these other actual genocidal maniacs that they absolutely love. But when you say good things about the founders, I guess it's assumed that we believe they're perfect.
Yeah.
Just bizarre.
And just think of that clip of Don Lemon right there. The highlight for him was him being disingenuous about the founders.
Mm-hmm.
He let it off with an outright lie about what Christ said about himself. I mean, that was, whew.
I mean, that's just, where did you get that?
There was a whole bunch of fun in that clip.
Are you kidding? Clearly, I would say clearly not a Christian, right? I mean, that's pretty obvious. I don't know if he's an atheist. I don't know what his religious background is or beliefs.
Let's see.
But is there anybody who doesn't know that Christians profess Jesus was perfect? That is just weird.
I'm looking to see what his religion is. I do see his political affiliation is independent.
Sure.
Oh, boy. I don't know what his faith is here. So, whatever, man.
Let me tell you about keeping your hair, because it is possible. If you're going through male pattern baldness and you don't want to lose your hair and you're having a hard time dealing with it, there's something you can do with it. And you can do this in the comfort and privacy of your own home. Keeps. Go to keeps.com. They offer the generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products. These are the real deal. And because they're generic versions, they save you a fortune. All you have to do is go online and answer a few questions, take a few pictures of your hair, and then a doctor evaluates all your information, recommends the right FDA-approved hair loss treatment for you. And you don't have to visit a doctor. You don't have to go anywhere. You just wait for your Keeps order to show up at your door. And to get you started, in addition to them being the generic versions, we're also going to give you 50% off the price to get you started on your first order. 50% off. Go to keeps.com/Pat. That's keeps.com/Pat. Some tweets here. Artificially Awake tweets the definition of flatten the curve changed from don't overwhelm the hospitals to no one ever gets sick again.
Yeah.
Kind of did.
Sure did.
Keystone Pig. Well, Keith, if you're still going to support the NFL after all this, you may hate America.
Okay. Well, and if you're genuinely concerned about my television viewing habits, you may be a Karen.
Jeffy's 18 Spoons. My local Walmart has a private security Nazi checking for masks now. Ooh. It's disgusting the way they're pushing this crap. From Bradley S. Collins. Pat, I'd count Boston's fourth album, 1994's. God, yeah, look at that, though. That's another thing. Their first album came out in 76.
Okay.
Their next album, Don't Look Back, 78. Their next, that's because CBS, I think, was their record company. They forced them to produce an album because you need to, right? Mm-hmm. 8 years later, they finally come out with Third Stage.
Yeah.
8 years after that, they come up with a fourth. Come on. So, you can't just do one every 8 years.
No, and I thought U2 took forever to put albums out. That's rough.
Tom Scholz just, agonizingly perfectionist.
And correct me if I'm wrong. This long wait leads to songs about corporate America and anti-business. You see what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like a huge payoff, right? These albums.
Well, yeah. He says 1994's Walk On was among their good stuff. The first track, I Need Your Love, is classic Boston, really good. I don't know if I think I might have given up on it by then. But that fifth album, Corporate America, absolute execrable garbage.
Execrable.
I'm
going with it, man. I got nothing. Huh.
Yes. Corporate America is terrible. I mean, and it's all about how...
But buy our album.
Yes. Right?
What the hell?
Right? It's all about how capitalism sucks.
So those are free. Like, he was just on street corners just giving them out, right?
No, actually, no. Which is strange. Also from Pastor Sam Burton. Next conspiracy you guys can tackle?
Yeah.
Do bees poop? That's great. Equus Limits 10. Can one even genocide birds? Well, yeah, and they did. They genocided them.
I don't know how.
From Steve, why do these sophisticated surveillance units keep flying straight into the reflection on my bay window?
Right? You'd think by now they'd have little GPS trackers in them. I mean...
Yeah, and the, what do they call it when it beeps when you get close to the object? It's
a rear...
the sensors, the proximity sensors.
Okay.
They should have proximity sensors keeping you away from the windows.
And Martin was telling us during the break, he's right, I saw a video like this where they sit on... The reason birds sit on electrical wires is to recharge.
That makes perfect sense.
I saw it on the internet. It's got to be true.
Now I buy it. Now I buy it.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah, that pulls everything together right there.
Trying to figure out how is this...
The freaking birds aren't real. Oh, my God.
Because they can't put little solar packs on them because you would see that.
Right.
The feathers would cover up. The sun would block the charging. They've got to sit on the wire, the electrical line. That's how it happens.
No way to hook them up to wind power, right? Or hydroelectric. So, obviously, yep. Obviously,
that's
their
the word.
Their little feeties are
charging like metal.
Yeah,
if you really get close. Don't forget to dissect a bird next time it runs into your plate glass window, and you too will see the answers.
Yeah, see if they're mechanical on the inside. Casey in Texas, you're on the Blaze. Hi.
Hey, Pat.
Hey.
Hey, Keith.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the other day I was at. Can I say the name of the grocery store?
Sure.
Tom freaking Thumb.
Okay.
And I went in without a mask. But I go there all the time. I'm in the back of the store. Assistant manager girl, 50 feet away, moves her finger like, "Oh, sir, you need to come here." And I just said, no. She comes up and says, "Oh, you need a mask." And I said, "No, thank you." So I went up. She says, "Okay." So I went up. I am next in line. I've got 10 items. These two managers come up to me. They get within 3 feet of me. They get in my face. They have masks. "Sir, you need to wear a mask." And I said, "No, I don't." They said, "Yes, you do." And he shoves this piece of paper in my face like it's a law that the governor just signed on January 2nd or something like that. I refused. He grabs my basket. He would not let me go forward. I left. I turned around. I cursed. I called him a-holes. I'm sorry, but I did that.
Wow.
I will never shop at that store again.
Yeah, that's aggravating. What city do you live in Texas?
I live in Wiley. It's just about 32 miles outside of Dallas.
Okay. Wow. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Casey. They're becoming Nazis about this stuff. They really are.
And this is Texas.
Yeah.
And that's on the edge of Metro DFW. Boy, I'm telling you, if this is happening in Texas, get ready.
They do have the signs up, though, on Kroger, Tom Thumb, all the usual grocery stores that I frequent.
Sorry, we're all asthmatics now.
Yeah, they don't care about that. They don't care. As we heard from a caller last hour.
I mean,
when you tell them you do have the health issue, they don't care. They don't care.
And seriously, though, how, especially these people have to wear it all day at their jobs, how many lung issues are we going to have years down the road now from what is happening right now and how we're impeding our ability to breathe?
It's ridiculous. All right, Hillary will tell us about the big conspiracy with Wayfair next. And so is Hilary Kennedy, as a matter of fact. Hillary's been doing some interesting investigative research.
I have been.
Into Wayfair furniture. And you say, is Amazon involved in this too? The sex trafficking of children? This all... I just became aware of this yesterday. I'd never heard of this. And of course, Snopes says it's false. And Wayfair has obviously said it's false, that they just name their furniture and they're just, it's expensive furniture because of the I guess the wood that goes into it or whatever. You seem to feel a little bit differently based on your research.
I do. So I'm not here to convince anybody that this is actually what's going on. However, I do think it's worth looking into and seeing for yourself. So when I first saw the headline that Wayfair was being accused of trafficking children, I thought it was a joke. And that was why I looked into it, because I was like, this is completely ridiculous. And the way the story was being sold was that Wayfair is selling children inside these cabinets, and that's why they're $15,000, and you order one and a child shows up at your door. And that's not really what's going on.
In the furniture.
Right. And so people were like, well, of course this is silly. This isn't what's happening. I think what caught people's attention is Wayfair in particular renames a lot of their products for sale on their site. So these same products are for sale on other websites like Walmart or Target or other big box retailers. They rename theirs with the names of people. And some of the names of these very expensive pieces of furniture were names of missing children, some of whom have been recovered. But they're very unusual spellings of names. So that's what kind of triggered everyone to start digging. Well, then you start looking at some of these other manufacturers on sites like Amazon, which is what I researched. And there's one manufacturer in particular. I won't say the name. If you want to know, you can DM me and I'll tell you what I know. But every product they had was $9,999.99. And some of these products were 49 cents.
And this is on
retailers.
Amazon.
This is on Amazon.
So the same product, 49 cents on one
by one seller, but this particular seller. Now, what's even crazier with this seller is they do have a handful of legitimate products for normal prices, maybe 10 or 12. The name of the company is in lowercase letters with those products, and they do have reviews. The other products that they have that are the $10,000 products, their company name is in all caps. And it's bizarre because in some of the descriptions of these products, like there was one for some house slippers, some of the key words in the description were bedroom, hot, just strange.
Weird, man.
They were very weird.
That
and then
is
there were
weird.
like some stickers. Like
and this is Amazon, though, right?
Correct.
Not
Wayfair. There are some stickers for little children, and in the description it said, children, teenage girls, women, lovers.
What?
Why are
for
those,
slippers?
This was for stickers for little children. So there's these key words that will trigger people who are searching for these things. Now, granted, and these stickers were $100, but these same stickers with other sellers, $2.99. So I did all this research over the weekend, and I was showing my husband what I was finding. The next morning, those listings were gone.
Because this started to get traction on Twitter and other social media.
I looked last night, and what they've done now is you have to be searching for very specific keywords for those listings to show up. So they didn't totally disappear. You just have to know exactly what you're looking for to find them. So I think all this really shows us is that people are doing something nefarious with these open marketplaces. Craigslist got busted for the same thing several years ago with their erotic section or their adult entertainment section. They had to do away with it because trafficking was going on. So people just find new places.
And people were getting hurt and killed on
Correct.
the Craigslist thing, right?
Right. Yeah. The Craigslist killer, the guy, responded to an ad. And so I think what made me believe that there's some validity to this also is I used a foreign search engine to run some of the SKUs for these products. And what comes up is hardcore pornography and pornographic images. And it's very disturbing. I ran SKUs for normal products.
That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah.
Nothing comes up.
Really?
So that was what
That's
made
weird.
me go, something is here.
That's really weird.
And I'll say this too. When we hear about sex trafficking or human trafficking going on in third world countries or in the Middle East or in Africa, we don't doubt that it's going on.
Right.
But when we hear that it's going on here in the United States, all of a sudden we immediately go, well, there's no way this is happening.
Well, it is.
But it is. You're right.
I mean, we have a relationship with Tim Ballard who tells us that there's a lot of sex trafficking in the United States.
And they obviously have to have a way to communicate, right?
Yeah. I guess so.
Well, and Tim Ballard
very
put out a video
bizarre.
yesterday saying, the authorities will have to investigate this, but we do know for certain that children are trafficked in this way. So
he hasn't said anything specifically about
He's not
Wayfair?
specifically saying it is being done by Wayfair
Correct.
or
Right.
Amazon.
He's just saying these online marketplaces and
Yeah.
social media are places where children are trafficked in this way with code words and with these ads and things like that. But, with these large companies that are open marketplaces, I don't know how much, when you've got this many different companies selling on your platform, how much do they know about what's going on? It's so hard to police all of that that you can't say definitively these companies know exactly what's going on without further research.
So it's not necessarily sanctioned by the company.
Correct.
Somebody within the company is using
right. So the
company resources.
The manufacturer that I investigated on Amazon, there was no way to contact them. You couldn't sort their products priced low to high. I mean, it was just a very weird. But $10,000 for a beanbag chair or $10,000 for silicone scrub brushes, that's not normal. And when you have words like, they had a tea light candle, and in the description it was like small, easy to take, totally harmless. It's just very weird. About a tea light candle, it just seems very odd with some of these.
Yeah, is there any name that we might recognize that's associated with Wayfair that you could enlighten us on?
Oh, well, one of the big stockholders in Wayfair is George Soros, interestingly enough.
Isn't that interesting?
So I... Do what you will with that information.
Do what you will.
But yeah, if you're thinking maybe someone has a nefarious plot to destroy capitalism, he could be involved in some way. I don't know. But I think the big lesson here is do some research, look into it, and just be aware that these kinds of things are going on. And I don't want to automatically write them off immediately because. I do think this stuff is going on, and the more people that know and the more of us that say, hey, we need someone to look into this, whether it's the FBI or people like Tim Ballard with Underground Railroad, please look into it because it could be saving people's lives.
And he did release a statement that they're trafficked in this way. Mm-hmm. That's really fascinating. I mean, it's chilling, isn't it? That's amazing. They
have their whole... these rings of people have such coded language, and once you start learning what some of the words are, and it's hard to find those because they don't want to put those out on the internet for just anybody to find to make it easier for people to commit these sorts of acts. But once you start searching for some of those terms, you find them in a lot of these listings. And I think, too, what people don't understand is you're not just paying $10,000 maybe to physically buy a person. Sometimes you're purchasing a specific sex act or organs or,
What was the guy you were telling me about yesterday? Somebody called the Wayfair company after ordering something?
He ordered a $17,000 desk.
And then what happened?
They're very suspicious of people now ordering those super high priced items. And they basically said, it's a pricing error. We're going to look into it, all that kind of stuff. But when you place
pricing errors, then
apparently when you place an order on Wayfair for a high price item, they have someone from their premier team that calls you immediately to kind of discuss your order with you. And people thought that was unusual. But I think the red flag for a lot of people with Wayfair specifically was that there were these same storage lockers or these same desks, but they were all priced differently.
Right.
So one is $600 and then one's $15,000 or $12,000.
Is Wayfair the only company that has these issues with pricing errors then?
Well, I mean, people who started doing research on this over the weekend discovered these sorts of pricing errors on other marketplaces like Amazon and Etsy, which was kind of a surprise to me because I think of Etsy as being the
crafts and stuff like that.
Kind of the handmade. But there was a listing for cheese on Etsy for like $5,000, and the
Must
shipping
be really good
was
cheese.
the shipping was $20,000.
Oh, very heavy cheese as well.
So
delicious but heavy.
So could they be that somebody fat fingered the entry?
Oh, I'm
sure, of course,
Sure.
But when there are this many from this many manufacturers on this many open marketplace websites,
it's a little
it's concerning.
suspect. Yeah. Wow.
So.
Well, I mean, you're right. It warrants further investigation.
And I think, it took me 20 minutes of searching to find these SKUs related to pornographic images in foreign search engines. Obviously, Google cleans up a lot of that stuff, so you're not going to have the same results if you use Google. But if you use the Russian search engine Yandex, you can find all kinds of things related to certain SKUs of products that are for sale online.
That is really bizarre.
I wouldn't advise doing that if children are in the room
You've
because
been
they
warned.
do not censor their results. But it's just it's fascinating.
Yeah, it is. All right. Well, thanks for the research you did on
Yeah,
that,
that's,
and
very
for
interesting.
letting us know about it, because I was ready to just dismiss it, and maybe we shouldn't be so quick to dismiss it. Maybe there is something to it.
there.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Hilary.
Thanks, Hilary.
We'll watch for you on the 4-Minute Buzz coming up in a few minutes. Let me tell you about Laurel Springs. As parents, we want to encourage our kids to pursue their dreams, of course, and provide opportunities that give them the best chance to succeed. And of course, you want the best for your kids. Of course, you want the best education for them. And I'll tell you this, we didn't want to entrust our kids' education to the public schools. And so that's why we took things into our own hands. And now there's so many tools available and so many opportunities to educate your kids in a better way, like Laurel Springs. Laurel Springs is an accredited online private school for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Recognizes that each child is a unique individual with their own personal interests, special talents, unique learning style. That's really important. And their flexible learning program offers challenging and diverse elective courses. You can register your child right now at laurelsprings.com/unleashed and get a waived registration fee. laurelsprings.com/unleashed for your waived registration. I was reminded from his nauseating voice there that we just heard. 888-900-3393. Really fascinating. I'm glad that Hillary took the time to look into this because, I looked into it as deep as, all right, Snopes says no. So, and Wayfair says no.
Wow.
Well, because it was bizarre to me in the first place.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe that Wayfair and probably the company themselves are not involved in sex trafficking, but maybe somebody within the company is. I don't know.
Is that our normalcy bias kicking in there?
Yes.
It's like, I can't believe that a company would.
Right.
So we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah, it's a lot of circumstantial evidence, or maybe that's the wrong phrase there, but a lot of stuff that seems to point. There's smoke at least, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Also, NASA is sending a robot to explore an asteroid worth more than our entire global economy. I think we've talked about this asteroid before.
Yeah.
It's made of precious metals, apparently. It's located in the solar system's main asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter.
Okay.
It is metal-rich. It's thought to be exposed metallic iron, nickel, and gold core of a prototype planet, a protoplanet.
Protoplanet.
Most asteroids are rocky or icy, but this one, made of metals like nickel and gold. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
The core is tantalizingly similar to Earth's, which means it could be the heart of a dead planet that lost its rocky outer layers or suffered from violent collisions. The metals that make up this one-of-a-kind asteroid could, according to some, be worth $10,000 quadrillion.
I'm sorry?
10,000 quadrillion dollars.
That sounds like a number Joe Biden made up the other day.
Doesn't it, though?
10,000 We could pay off some debt, right?
Yes.
Right? Isn't that
Yes,
we
you
want to make
could.
that coin Rashida Tlaib keeps telling us about? We can make multiple coins.
10,000 times a quadrillion. So what would that be? I have no idea.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Quintillion? Would it be beyond quintillion?
Sure. It would be enough to buy some ramen, I think.
Some top ramen? Not top ramen, like
I did not.
Mid-range
No,
ramen.
That's not the limb I went out on, sir. I said ramen. So we're headed there to maybe profit off of this thing?
Yeah. So we're sending a probe to see if it really is worth it. Because, what are you going to do if it is, though? Do we have the ability to go out and mine an asteroid right now? No, we don't. But I don't know. 30 years from now, could we? Or 50 or 60 years from now?
Does it say how long it's going to take to get the probe there and all the information back? Does it mention that at all?
Let's
Because maybe we launch it and then just hoping for the best. We then send a team out there to start extracting. Otherwise, China's just going to wait for us to do the dirty work and then send their crew up there.
They're going to launch in August of 2022 on top of a SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket. Fly past Mars in 2023 and begin orbiting the asteroid in January 2026. That's 4 years.
Yeah,
it's a 4-year tour.
Yeah, we're done by then.
Yeah. Psyche, not sure which way they pronounce it, has just passed its critical design review stage. Now the mission moves to actually make the space hardware. It would be fascinating if you could actually mine an asteroid and bring it back.
This better not be pronounced psych, because that's like a joke.
Psych.
Yeah, psych. I don't know that I care for that name.
The team has to now build 3 science instruments, a magnetometer to measure the asteroid's magnetic field, a multispectral imager, which is, of course, I was just going to say, do you have a multispectral imager?
I don't know.
to capture images of the surface, and then, of course, the spectrometers. And
sure.
Those, of course, will analyze the neutrons and gamma rays.
I was wondering if they were going to analyze the gamma rays in addition to the neutrons.
Obviously.
That's good.
That's going to be the next
real good
question on your mind. One of the things we pride ourselves on in these deep space missions is the reliability of the hardware, according to Henry Stone, who's the project manager. The integrated system is so sophisticated that comprehensive testing is critical. You do robustness tests, stress tests, as much as testing you can. You want to expose and correct every problem and bug, because after the launch, you can't fix the hardware.
Right, and let's just be careful here. The last time we sent up something toward Mars, we crashed into it since we didn't calculate the metric and standard properly. So let's just be careful if we're going to spend this kind of time and effort and money.
And do you remember the last time we went drilling on an asteroid that was headed our way?
That was a bad time for the world.
It was a bad time. I think the shuttle blew up or something.
Something happened.
And bad things happened.
Yeah, who did we lose on that? Was that?
We lost a really good guy who I don't remember his name right offhand.
Come on, somebody get in my ear. Died on the asteroid. Who was it? Come on. It was, come on, Google. Oh my gosh, 7 times people were killed by meteorites? That's interesting, but that's not what I'm looking for.
What? People have been killed by meteorites?
What am I clicking? Am I still trying to figure out the actor that died on the asteroid?
There's another thing we'll have to do a deep dive into sometime. Also, we've got some, while you look for that, who died on our last mission to mine.
I'm just waiting for Twitter for the PatHeads to chime in.
There is some new presidential polling since Kanye made his announcement.
Yeah.
He's had quite an impact on this race.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful. Don't dismiss him too quickly. So here's the poll now. In a national poll, This is from Redfield and Wilton Strategies.
Okay.
Biden has 48%. Trump, 40%. Just behind President Trump, Kanye West at 2%. He's catching up rapidly. Before he was at 0. Of course, he wasn't running.
So Kanye's showing up in polling now.
Yeah, he actually did show up.
Yeah,
Somebody named Jorgensen, who's a libertarian, got 2% as well.
Okay.
So he's already doing as well as the libertarian. And he doesn't even have a party listed. That's amazing.
So
the libertarians are pathetic.
They have blown their best opportunity.
By far.
That was 2016 when you went with Gary Johnson instead of someone else.
So stupid.
But this we've talked about this. What kind of impact could a Kanye West campaign make? What kind of impact would that make? Do we have Chance the Rapper's tweet? He actually posed this question, and we've talked about what kind of impact would this have. Where he said, hey guys, if Kanye's running, are you going to vote for him or Joe Biden?
And Chance the Rapper said he was going to vote for Kanye, right?
I don't know. No, he just posed the question.
Oh, okay.
And the discussion ensued. But it's like, it's like, well, there's the thing. In the scenario, you're going to replace Trump? Do you want to risk Joe Biden losing? Which would be better? So trying to. Oh, look, there's the word trying to again.
Trying to
get Trump out.
It's a thing now. Should be in the dictionary, I guess, because everybody's using it.
I almost said Bruce Willis, by the way. PatHeads. Bruce Willis is who we lost on the Asteroid.
Although that wasn't his name on the show, on the movie. But so, are you more pro-Biden or anti-Yee? That's short for Yeezy. Yay? It's
Kanye.
Yay?
Yeah, Kanye. Yeah.
Kanye. Okay, Kanye, not Yeezy. Isn't his other thing Yeezy or whatever?
Right.
I get that you'll want to reply that you're just trying to get Trump out, but in this hypothetical scenario where you're replacing Trump, can someone explain why Joe Biden would be better? Mm-hmm. Good question. It's a good question. The guy, first of all, doesn't like America much. This was his big 4th of July. We're on Independence Day. We're celebrating America. Here's what he had to say.
Our country was founded on an idea. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. We've never lived up to it. Jefferson himself didn't. He held slaves. Women were excluded.
Okay, so then he goes into, we've never lived up to it. What are you talking about? Of course we have. I mean, we've stumbled along the way, but we have lived up to that ideal before. And we continue to on occasion. We do our best. I mean, nobody's perfect. So you've got that. And then you've got all his screw-ups. The guy is just not all there. It's not reasonable to ask that question?
I just spoke at Dartmouth on health care. At the medical school, or not, I guess I wasn't actually on the campus, but the people from the medical school were at the...
Where were you?
I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was in Guatemala, El Salvador, and to win and say in Honduras and say, look, well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth.
$600 billion.
$1.4 trillion.
$400 billion. No.
Out of $1.4 billion.
Yeah, like
$1.4
trillion,
gazillion.
Jackson.
By the way, it's cost a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years.
Trillion, gillion.
My long friend, time friend, and she's a friend. She's been my friend in and out of public life. We can do it, and it's going to take billions of dollars to do it.
Yeah,
we can afford to do it. We can't afford not to do it. And I think Secretary, excuse me, I wasn't the press going to say I'm downgrading him by calling him Senator Booker. The fact is that the bills that the future president here,
Kanye versus that guy? Kanye all day.
Kanye, for sure.
By the way, Harry Stamper is our hero astronaut who we lost.
There we go. Thank you.
On the Asteroid.
Yes.
Thank you, Pat.
Tragic day. All right, see you tomorrow.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.